Well, hey everybody, how's it going? I hope everyone's going okay. I mean, how you doing, Fernando?
I'm okay.
That's alright. What day would be complete without a car to work on or a story to tell? And today is no different. We have a car to work on. It's not really a car though, but it's not a truck. So if it's not a car and it's not a truck, what could it possibly be? There's only one car that comes to mind when I think of that, and we do a ton of them. It's a Jeep! That's right. We do, as you know, a ton of Jeeps. And today's Jeep, it's kind of like all the other Jeeps. You know, it's getting some Rockford speakers, it's getting the cool Kenwood 5-channel amplifier, it's getting a Pioneer radial in the dash. Paul has kind of packaged together this Jeep package, and he's like, yeah. Which is good, because we know it sounds good, everyone likes it. We do a Comp RT 12 downfire in the back, and that Rhino lined box that sounds really, really good. We had no issues with it, even like this is a soft top, it's Rhino line, so it does what it needs to. Today, we're gonna do something a little bit different. Now, we've only done this one other time in a Jeep, and it was awesome. It sounded really, really good. But since we've done that, it just kind of got forgotten about offering it as an option for install. And I know what you're thinking. What are you talking about, man? We've seen you guys do everything in a Jeep. Well, what we're doing today is we're going to roadkill these crappy plastic pods that these speakers come in. We've done it before and it sounded good. That's great, right? I mean, we know it sounds good. It sounds really good. And then the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put Fastrings on the front. And the reason why is because, you know, when you're looking at this speaker here, look how far back there's like, so that sound just travels all through this dash here. We know that Fastrings help these things, but it's a Jeep, so it's like, people are like, it's a Jeep, man. Well, how good is it gonna sound? Just make my Jeep loud, and that's all I care about. Well, that's fine. If you can make loud even louder, or loud sound even better, why wouldn't you try it? And that's why those products exist. So today, that's what we're gonna do along with the rest of the stereo. So I'm pretty excited about that. What about you? You excited?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, you can tell just the tone of his voice. Let's get started. We're gonna tear this thing apart. We've already got it all protected up with seat covers and, you know, the cool red steering wheel control and the little kitty sock. We have a plan. We're gonna get to it. So I'm gonna stop talking. You ready?
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So as you guys know, when Fernando and I work on a car, we each have like things we like to do. We talk about that before we start. How can you work on it and I work on it and we not trip over each other? In this particular job, how we've decided to break it up is I'm gonna go ahead and get up here in the dash. They have these cool little tweeter pods. I need to get one of these speakers out because I have to make 4 mounts for tweeters out of ABS for the dash and for the soundbar. He's gonna pull the speaker out of the passenger side dash. He just needs to get it out, as you can hear. Then he's gonna go work on the soundbar on that same side, start roadkilling it and all that. And the reason why is because I need to get to that seat to mount the amplifier. He's gonna work on that side of the car. I'm gonna work on this side of the car. He needs parts that I need to make for him, so it's a trade-off. So that's how these things work. As you can see, a lot of people use this size. So let me dig through this real quick. Now what we need to do is make 4 of these for this car. Now they need to be thin, they can't be real thick because this speaker is pretty thin. And the grill has a slight bow to it, which is nice, so it gives it a little bit of clearance. Maximum size we want to make them is 1/8 inch, not any bigger. Let's knock out 4 of these. So for this 1/8 inch, we're gonna use this stuff here. Now we have a sign shop right next door to us. They have a ton of scrap, so anytime they have scrap, we take it. And this stuff is pretty cool. On one side is that shiny signboard. In the middle here is 1/8 inch Cetra, and then it has aluminum on either side. So this makes it really rigid for like this up in the dash using 1/8 inch, which is a little bit thinner than you normally want to go. But because it has the aluminum in there, you really only want to do 2 cuts at a time. All right, let's take it over to the router. So we have our 4 blanks. We've gone ahead and stuck them all together. Now what we want to do is drill a hole in the center. For this install, we're going with 2 sets of the P1675S's. These are the 6 3/4 inch Rockfords. Now the nice thing about using these in the Jeeps is that it's a bigger speaker so that you don't have to use any brackets. This will actually just screw right into the factory hole, so it's really nice. And there again, this particular one, the crossover's built into the frame of the speaker, so you have your inputs here, your tweeter output here. This is an awesome speaker for a Jeep. All right, so we need a hole that is this big. Let's go grab a hole saw. It's gonna be this guy here. This is a 1 3/4. It's a little bit small, but it's close enough, and these tend to wobble. These are Bosch, not a fan, but you know, I bought them. It's good to put this in a vise and lock it in place. Perfect fit. Yeah. All right, so now we have all 4. Let's go ahead and get them apart. Do a little sanding. Because these are white and there's a possibility you might actually see these through the grill, I'm gonna go ahead and spray paint them real quick with some black vinyl dye. The reason why I like to use vinyl dye is that it dries like that, so I don't have to wait. These will be dry in like 2 minutes. So we went ahead and painted the other side black. What we're gonna do now is go ahead and put some foam on the back side of these so that when they get screwed in, they don't rattle on the plastic. So we have our tweeters all set and ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and set these over on Fernando's workbench, so as he's working through the speakers, he has them all set and ready for him. How's it coming?
It's coming along really good.
So what he's done here is he's gone ahead and drilled the hole for the tweeter. The mid-range will just plug into the factory plug there. So now we have the inside all filled up, nice and baked potato. It's like an inverted baked potato. Look at that thing. Looks like something you put on a lunar landing thing, right? Sure. Like we said, the one other thing we're gonna add to this is fastrings. I don't think the acoustical plug will do us any good here, but what we are gonna do is put some more of the polyfill in there. We're gonna fill this lightly, just kind of line the inside of it with a little bit of poly. Because we put all this in there, it's gonna be super reflective. We just wanna kill some of that. And then like we said, how this fits. Let me set this on there. So as you can see, it fills in that hole wonderfully. Beautiful speaker for this install.
For this install, we use the Fastrings by Roadkill, and the model number is RKFR6.
So on a side note, the other day when we did a Jeep, we ran into a hiccup. When we were doing our polarity test, the tweeters were polarity testing out of polarity with the mid-range. Now on this speaker, it says positive, negative. And also this terminal is fatter, this terminal is skinnier. That's like the universal thing for negative always skinny, positive always fat. We were like, that's weird. We just switched the wire, went on with our business. Well, today we're putting in 4 of these, 2 sets. And we're like, you know what? We need to figure out what the heck was going on in that last Jeep, because now we have 4 tweeters. We have our PT9A polarity tester, and of course we have our handheld version of it here. So we thought we'd see what's going on. First, what we want to check is the tweeter. So go ahead and hook this up. Now this tweeter they use in all the sets, and this one is lighting up green, so we know that the wiring here is correct. Now we'll go ahead and test our mid-range, and now that one is lighting up correct. Now what we want to do is we want to connect our tweeter to the mid-range. Sure. Alright, we're popping. And when you look at that, so this is green, and now you go to the tweeter's red. Somewhere in the speaker, they have the polarity different and they don't say anything. That's weird because the 6.5-inch version of this is correct. This is a 6 3/4 and it's wrong. So it wasn't like they were thinking, you know, hey, we're just gonna do this, because it's not like that through the whole line. It's different. Weird. Alright, so we have it all roadkilled up inside. So we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of polyfill into it, just so that it, you know, that's Doesn't rattle around in there or anything like that. Sound deaden it just a little bit more. Then we'll add a little bit to where the tweeter goes. Cool. So that ought to sound good.
Yeah.
Yay.